నమస్తే సాక్షి తెలుగు వారి మనస్సాక్షికి స్వాగతం సుస్వాగతం. నేను మీ ప్రియా గోటేటి. వెల్కమ్ టు ఇమిగ్రేషన్ టాక్ షో with attorney Mr. Naresh Gehi. Before we begin the show, I wanted to first heartily congratulate Naresh garu for setting up a law firm in Hyderabad. మన కొండాపూర్లో స్టార్ట్ చేశారండి. Congratulations Naresh garu for setting up our law
Thank you
firm.
so much. It's a pleasure being on the show.
Yeah, thank you. We are very delighted to have you on our show, Andy. సో మీ అందరికీ తెలిసినట్టు నరేష్ గారు ఇస్ లైక్ మాస్టర్ ఆఫ్ H1B వీసాస్, ఇన్వెస్టర్ వీసాస్, ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ బేస్డ్ ఇమిగ్రేషన్. ఈజ్ ఎ టాప్ లాయర్ ఇన్ యుఎస్ఏ అండి. సో ఇట్స్ లైక్ ఇప్పుడు మనకి అందుబాటులో ఉండడానికి కూడా హైదరాబాద్ లో మనకి బ్రాంచ్ ఆఫీస్ పెట్టారు. సో మీకు ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నా కానీ మీరు నరేష్ గారికి రీచ్ అవుట్ అవ్వచ్చు. అండ్ ఈ రోజు మనం లైవ్ కాలర్స్ కూడా తీసుకోబోతున్నాము. సో యూ కెన్ ఆల్వేస్ కాల్ టు ద షో. So before we begin the show, please note that the information provided on this show is not a legal advice and just for general information purpose only. Sakshi TV or its agents are not responsible for use of this information. If you need any special legal advice, please contact the attorney directly, Mr. Naresh Gehi. Mobile number is 516-703-3767 and India number is 8976772900. Or you can email at nmgehi@gehilaw.com, info@gehilawindia.com for additional information. So let's welcome Naresh garu. Naresh garu, welcome Andy.
Wonderful being with you on the show as always, Priya.
So Naresh garu, ee roju manam topic వచ్చి investor visas. So many people wanted to invest in USA and probably for easier green cards to get like visas easily. So what kind of investment visas are available for them?
Investors for a visa fall under the EB5 visa category. And under EB5, a person can invest as little as $800,000. As little as $800,000 and qualify for a green card.
Wow.
So take an example. I was in Hyderabad and a lot of people in Telangana told me that I want to come to America. Is it hard? The answer is no. If you have $800,000, and which is close to, I would say, like 7 crores or something in India,
Mm-hmm.
and if funds are ready, and if you can transfer to America, you have no problems. You can get your green card anywhere between 1 to 3 years, depending on the scheme you go for. So take an
Okay.
example about a family in Hyderabad. They have these 2 wonderful children who want to come to America and study. And they are 17 years old, 16 years old, time to go to college. The best investment the parents can make is to go for the investors' visas. And there are 2 types of investments over there. One is investing by starting your own business in America, which is known as a direct investor. And the second one, to invest with the regional center. Through a regional center, the good thing is that you have to just give them the money, but you have to make sure that you invest with a very good regional center, which means these are companies which have been given the authority by the US government to run businesses, like big businesses. They take your money, they invest the money in a project, and then they file the paperwork, and we are your lawyers to make sure that we work with you. And then approximately 1 to 2 years, the husband, the wife, and children under 21 can come to America on a green card.
Wow, that's nice. So like ఇప్పుడు మీరు అన్నట్టు హైదరాబాద్ లో చాలా మందికి అసెట్స్ ఉంటాయి. సో ఇట్స్ లైక్ ఫ్యామిలీ అసెట్స్ లాగా ఉంటాయి. సో వెన్ వీ వాంటెడ్ టు ఇన్వెస్ట్ ఇస్ $800,000, is it like single person has to invest or wife and husband together they can invest?
Husband and wife together, and even the children's money can be there under 21. And the accountant in India, what they do is that they show that the funds should be readily available. And then after that, what happens? Of course, the legal fees are separate. But the good thing is that you're coming in like on a direct green card. So that's one scheme. And this is when you are kind of investing in an underdeveloped area or an underserved area with a higher unemployment rate. But if you want to come to a big state which is not even required, it's like New York or something which is developed, then you need $1,050,000. But most people prefer the $800,000 route, and you can either buy your own business, in which The thing is that you'll have to employ 10 people, you have to run the business. So that is like you are hands on the business. But if you don't want to take that headache, and if you're financially well off in Telangana or anywhere in India, you have the money with you. Keep your money ready. Work with a very good immigration lawyer and come to America. It's not that hard, but you have to make sure that as a good lawyer, you work with the client and they should be good. This is what we do in such cases.
ఓకే. సో, నరేష్ గారు ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పినట్టేంటంటే లైక్ ఇఫ్ దే ఆర్ ఇన్ హైదరాబాద్ ఆర్ ఇన్ ఇండియా దే కెన్ ఇన్వెస్ట్ అండ్ కమ్. వాట్ అబౌట్ ద పీపుల్ లైక్ దే ఆర్ మెనీ తెలుగు పీపుల్ ఇన్ USA వేర్ దే ఎర్న్. ఇఫ్ దే వాంటెడ్ టు like they might be in H-1B visas. If they wanted to go for investor visa, can they do that?
Yes, if they're in the
In
US, now let's take in two examples now. A lot of parents are worried in India about their children. Some of them are on student visas, some of them on H-1B visas. What I've been advising to these parents, that's why we have an office now in Hyderabad too. And you have the address of the Hyderabad office over there, Priya. We've been telling them rather than you giving them their share in future, give your children their share, which means in the property now, whatever they're entitled to in terms of inheritance, and get them the green card. And you'll be surprised. In approximately 1 year, they can get the green card. Take an example: your daughter's in America, your son is in America. He's struggling on an H-1B for so many years. Your son cannot find an H-1B sponsor, but you have the money in the bank. Get in touch with a good lawyer, transfer the money, and in 1 year, they're going to get a conditional green card if the case gets approved. Then after 2 to 3 years, they get a permanent green card.
okay.
So this is how
So,
the procedure works.
So Naresh Kar, if we earn the money, like right now, maybe probably the properties in India, the India money we are investing in USA, that's what is the investor visa. If we earn the money in USA itself, and if we wanted to invest in USA, can we go for investor visa?
Yes,
Like
there's a
somebody is
possibility.
not
There
being
is a
well off.
possibility. There is a possibility for that too. But what the government looks at is the source of the funds. And if the source of the funds is legitimate, you're fine. Now, there's a person who told me a very, very good thing. He said that I am on an H-1B visa and I'm going to get a gift from my father over here. And my father is a green card holder. And he owns a hotel here, which is $3 million. He's ready to give me the $800,000. Excellent. You still qualify. Because you can get it as a gift, you can get it as an inheritance, you can get it as a loan on your collateral. So there are many ways. It's not as hard as people think. But what the government wants is to make sure that the source through which the money is coming is legitimate. Now, take an example. In India, they use this word black money, which I knew about. That's not allowed. Needs to be proper money through the right channels to make sure everything is straightforwarded on the books.
సో నరేష్ గారు మీరు చెప్పినట్టు రైట్ నౌ అండ్ మెనీ ఇండియన్స్ ఎస్పెషల్లీ తెలుగు వాళ్ళు ఇక్కడ డాలర్స్ వాటిల్లో కూడా దే ఆర్ లైక్ బయింగ్ హౌసెస్ 1 million houses 2 million houses of course that they might be taking some loan and buying it, so instead of
They
that
should
they
not do that. See, the first thing is rather than doing that, try to save up the money, talk to an immigration attorney, see whether you qualify for a green card first. Because
yeah.
that's like putting the cart before the horse. So, for example, right, you got married to someone in India, like you're a guy, and the father was very generous to give you $350,000 when you got married as a gift to the daughter. And now your parents want to say, okay, I'm pretty much a senior citizen. Let me give you $500,000. They give it. Get your green card through the investor visa, and you don't even have to go back. The problem with a lot of people on H-1B is the reason they struggle is because they don't have proper guidance. And a lot of smart H-1B people, what they do, they say, Mr. Gehi, not a problem. I can get a loan. My father has this great kind of big house, big building in Hyderabad, and he's getting a loan on the building now. I can get $800,000 transferred. Hallelujah. All set. Good. And then we go for a regional center. If you don't want to run the business, you're fine. But now there's another guy who's on an H1B. He said, Mr. Gehi, my wife is sitting at home on an H4. She's not doing anything right now. And I managed $800,000. If you manage 1,050,000, and if you're in New Jersey, for example, you don't even have to move because you can buy a big gas station 24/7, hire 10 workers, you're making money, you're running the show. That is a direct investor. But he says, I want to continue as a software engineer. I don't have the time. So then you look at the regional center. The good thing about the regional center is you're not working at all. The company is doing all the work for you. It's like flying by first class flight, coming to America on a green card or getting a green card without working or doing anything, as far as you have the money. Easy as that. First,
Yeah.
what you're going to get is a conditional green card. Then after that, you get a permanent green card. Simple.
So Naresh Garu, like give us more details and like once we file that investor visa, can we start working in USA? Can we come to USA?
Yes. Now let's break this down into two parts. If you're
Mm-hmm.
already in the US, the good news is that we can immediately apply for adjustment of status in America. So you're in any H1B, you figured out that you've decided that you want to get your green card. You have your $800,000 ready. Get in touch with a very good lawyer because knowledge is very important in these cases. And for example, sometimes people go on bench, but before going on bench, you have the money ready. It may be possible. That's one. Secondly, once if the money is ready and if the source of the funds is cleared, then you have two things to do here. Most people prefer going for the regional center program so they don't have to worry about it. And literally around 4 or 5 months, you're going to get a work permit. Now, that work permit allows you to work for any employer. Your
Okay.
spouse also gets a work permit. On an H4, the woman is sitting at home or the guy is sitting at home, he's frustrated, cannot work. But in 5 months, literally 5 to 6 months, you got your work permit. And then 1 year, you got the green card. You don't have to worry about the EB2 category of India, which is literally backed up by bloody 20 years.
Yes,
You don't
you're
have to
right.
worry about the EB3 category, which is nearly backed up by literally the same amount, approximately. So, this is a shortcut to distinction. That's the best way to describe it.
Yes. So, Naresh గారు నాకు ఇంకొక డౌట్ వచ్చింది. Like, right now people are taking like loans from the bank, right? To invest in the investor visa, can we take a loan from USA bank, like Bank of
Yes.
America, Chase Bank, and
Yes. Depends on the situation. If you
okay,
have a collateral, if you have a house, then that may be a possibility. We'll
mhm,
have to actually look at the source of the funds and whether the sources are legit, funds are legit, how did the money come there? That's a very subjective question, but that may be a possibility depending upon the facts and circumstances of the case. So,
okay,
take an example that someone gave $350,000 to a daughter when she came to America, when she got married. Now, that money was put in a stock. The value of the stock has become $1 million. Fine. Source of the funds is the key.
mm-hmm. Yes, got it.
So if that
And
happens, you have a possibility, of course.
what are the other considerations that we need to take while doing this investor visas?
You have to make sure that you do your due diligence, and that's why it's good to work with a lawyer and also with people who know the industry. And the lawyer's job is to make sure that he works closely with the client. He has to make sure that he advises you very well about the risk and consequences. Because when you are putting your money with the regional center, the law is very clear that it should be a risk associated venture. Means the project where they're putting the money has to be risk associated. Means if you're giving it to ABC or regional center group, they will be investing the money, but that money can be lost, or the money can be like, in a secure fund wherein you get it back for the future, in a sense, means the likelihood of you getting the money back is very high. But generally, under the law, after 5 years, most of these companies give the money back. Now, some companies may give a little more than what you invested, some may be a little less, depending on whether that company, when it invested in the venture, made a profit or not. But generally, in most of these cases, after 5 years, if you get your money back, it should be great for you. But you got your green card, your spouse got the green card, and your children under the age of 21 got the green cards. That's a bigger picture here.
Yes. And obviously, when we are investing in somewhere, it would be like subjected to market risk based upon that it would
Exactly.
be there.
That's
Yes.
why what the lawyers should do is, the lawyer's job is to follow the law. That's why they need to have a good accountant. They need to have their own appraisers. A lawyer can advise them about the requirements, but ultimately it's the client who makes the decision whether he wants to invest in this venture or not. A lawyer cannot advise the client, hey, you just invest in this one. That is against the law. A lawyer can show them, this is for you, this is ABC, you do the selection. But unfortunately, there are lawyers, who done this mistake of telling the client, you just invest over here. That is not right. The informed consent should be coming from the client. And that is how ethics should be followed by lawyers. Now, the other problem that I see is, Priya, in India. Now, let's talk about Hyderabad. All these people are coming in. Oh, I have this famous lawyer coming with me over here. And, he is a lawyer who's well known. Later on, you find out that the person was not even a lawyer there. And they come with these big banners stating that, oh, invest in this EB5 project with us, or you're definitely going to get a green card. They cannot use the word definitely, number one. Secondly, they have to be honest enough to let people in Telangana and Hyderabad in India know that this is a risk associated venture. Please look at our credentials. Our wonderful people in Hyderabad don't even look at the credentials. They just trust them and give the money because they say, oh, you speak Telugu, I speak Telugu, I trust you. No, it's your hard earned money. Look at it under a microscope. Look at the lawyer's credentials. Look at how
Yes.
long he's been practicing law. Then the lawyer's job is to let them know, sir, this is your job. And a good lawyer generally tells them, listen, I'll be professional with you, but I also want to talk to your accountant. So the accountant should also be involved. So the investor is actually happy that, that he has that comfort level that these are honest lawyers, these are good people. The problem sometimes is that you come across unscrupulous business people who cheat people, and later on that wonderful investor loses his 800,000 or a million 50, plus his life is a mess, and the poor guy loses his entire life savings, which is not the right thing, Priya. Of
Yes.
course, it's a risk associated venture, but you can let the client know that, listen, these are the risks, whether they look good or bad, work with the accountant. Give a true picture and an honest picture to our people in Telangana to make sure that when they invest, they're in the right hands, they're dealing with good people, they're dealing with a brand, they're not dealing with someone who just became a lawyer yesterday and who's asking you to invest. And a lawyer who's forcing you to invest all the time, do it, do it, do it, do it, chappo, 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 is not good.
ఎస్. సో వ్యూవర్స్ అదే నరేష్ గారు కూడా చెప్తున్నారు. చాలా స్కామ్స్ జరుగుతున్నాయి. జస్ట్ ట్రస్ట్ ఇట్. నరేష్ గారు ఇస్ ఎ వెల్ నోన్ లాయర్ అండి. అటార్నీ ఇక్కడ యూఎస్ఏలో అండ్ మన హైదరాబాద్‌లో మన కోసం అని ఎస్పెషల్లీ ఫర్ తెలంగాణ పీపుల్ కోసం అని చెప్పి ఆయన హైదరాబాద్‌లో బ్రాంచెస్ పెట్టారు. కొండాపూర్ అండ్ హైటెక్ సిటీ దగ్గర. అండ్ మీరు ఆయన దగ్గరికి నార్మల్ కామన్ పీపులే కాదు, చాలా మంది సెలబ్రిటీస్, పొలిటీషియన్స్ వెళ్ళి కూడా ఆయన దగ్గర సజెషన్స్ తీసుకుంటారు. సో హీస్ ది వన్ ఆఫ్ ది బెస్ట్ అటార్నీస్ అండి. సో ట్రస్ట్ నరేష్ గారు అనే కాదు, ట్రస్ట్ లాయర్ అటార్నీ హూమ్ యూ ఆర్ గోయింగ్. అండ్ ఇది రిస్క్ బేస్డ్ ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ కాబట్టి చెక్ ఆల్ ద ఆప్షన్స్ దట్ యూ హ్యావ్. క్లియర్ గా స్కామ్స్ కి వెళ్ళకండి. సో
My
యా.
job on Sakshi TV is to make sure that people hear something that is straightforward, something that is true knowledge, something that is blunt without beating around the bush. That's what I feel that we should be bringing to our table on Sakshi TV.
Yes. We discussed about like investor visas. Like, can a person directly apply for investor visa, or they should, check with like attorney? They need an attorney's help to file for an investor visa.
How, listen, anyone can do anything on their own, but do they have the knowledge? Do they have the experience? No. In anything you're going to do, it is recommended that you have a lawyer, because a lawyer can let you know the pros and cons. But of course, it's not necessary to have a lawyer even when you appear before a court in India or before a court in the United States, except if you're a corporation. But having a lawyer always helps you to make proper decisions in life.
Yeah, the reason why I was asking this question is like many people would be saying like, online లో అంతా ఉంటుంది వెబ్సైట్కి వెళ్ళి చూస్తే అన్ని దొరుకుతాయి. No, even if we know that we can do it, it's always best, like you said, it's always recommended to have an attorney or a lawyer with us, so they give us a proper guidance in this. And $800,000 might
Suppose if you
seem,
come across a fake investor who takes your money and runs away, how much are you losing?
yes.
A fake company comes over there, ask an investor to invest in a regional center, they run away. And you didn't check the background, no credentials, nothing. You gave the money, and they asked you to wire the money to a fraudulent account. You're gone. You're done. Due diligence.
So, Narishka, one more question is like if like gas stations and these come like under direct investment. So, for example, if people who are in USA, they wanted to they're on H-1B visas.
They can contact me. They do that all the time. Some of
Mm-hmm.
them are very enterprising, and that's a good thing. They want to basically make sure they invest in their own program, and that's acceptable, and we can help them out. That's not a problem.
So, it's just like what would be considered as a direct investment, like consulting companies, studios, like dance studios, photo studios.
As far as you hire 10 people, it can be a gas station, it can be a donut franchise, it can be any franchise. Because in a franchise, generally, right, if you're going for a food franchise, generally you need 10 people for a decent franchise. You're good to go.
Okay.
And what do you have to do? You have to make sure that it's a new enterprise. But if you're buying an existing one, you have to show that you're going to create 10 more jobs. This is what lawyers forget to say. So even if you're buying an existing franchise, you'll have to show that you created 10 more jobs.
And Narishkar, we also hear like E2 investor visas and EB5 investor visas. Are they both
It's not,
same?
Is not a member of the E2 country. So if anyone is telling you that you fall under E2, you're 100% wrong. India is not a part of the E2 visa program.
Okay. Yeah, because whenever investor visa comes, they generally talk like E2, EB5. So
India
that's a
is not
clarity
a
for
part,
our viewers.
India is not a part of the E2 countries. So let people not fool you.
So once we have an investor visa, are there any specific rules and restrictions or considerations where the visa can be rejected?
Yes. So suppose the thing is that you did not hire the 10 people and the direct investors. If
Mhm.
you not establish the source of funds, and the project that you told them is actually a fake project, and you did not buy the business, you did nothing, you are lazy, of course it's going to be denied. But if you're diligent, you bought the business is rolling, you hire 10 people, you're good to go, and direct investors. Now, but that's why people have to be very careful when they apply for the regional center also. Because when you're going for the regional center, you have to make sure that you go with a good regional center, because visas from regional centers also get denied when immigration feels that the project in which the regional center is investing is not a good project, and they will not be able to have those 10 people work, and the project seems to be a failure, and there's something wrong in the project. So that's why you made a very good point. Is it necessary to have a lawyer? A lawyer can help them to make rational decisions. So the risk can be minimized in such instances.
Okay. So, like, how long does this investment have to be there, be it in a direct company or in a
Generally,
regional
they
center?
ask the investment to be there for 5 years in most cases.
Okay. So, any other considerations that people needs to be aware of?
All right, on a different note, the H-1B is starting soon. We are helping a lot of people, IT companies from the US, to start filing the H-1B visas. Besides that, H-1B is going to become difficult. Other than that, be careful, be ready for audits. And if any complications, we have an office in Hyderabad now. We have an office in Mumbai, 3 offices in New York, one in Texas. We handle immigration cases from all over the United States and the world. Very easy to reach me. And it's 718-263-5999 is my number. And my website is gehilaw.com, gehilaw.com. Prior results do not guarantee future outcome. This is an attorney advertisement. Any statements made during this program are general in nature and do not apply to any particular facts or circumstances, and neither the TV show host or the TV program owner or the attorney is responsible if you act on your own without a proper agreement with an attorney.
Yes, థ్యాంక్ యూ నరేష్ గారు. లైక్ నరేష్ గారు చెప్పినట్టు మనకి కొండాపూర్, వైట్ ఫీల్డ్స్ కొండాపూర్ తెలంగాణలో ఒక బ్రాంచ్ ఉంది. అండ్ హైటెక్ సిటీలో కూడా ఒక బ్రాంచ్ ఉంది. అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇండియాలో కాకుండా యూఎస్ఏలో కూడా చాలా బ్రాంచ్ ఆఫీసెస్ ఉన్నాయి. అండ్ యూ కెన్ ఈమెయిల్ అట్ nmgehi nmgehi@gehilaw.com, or for further information you can also visit at info@gehilawindia.com. ఇండియా నంబర్ వచ్చి +91-8976-772900. మొబైల్ నెంబర్ వచ్చి 516-703-3767. And you can always contact the attorney directly. And if you are an immigration attorney and would like to join our special shows, please email us at the rate usa@sakshi.com, or call us at 866-725-7441. So today this is the topic on investor visas, and thank you so much Naresh Garu for sharing all your insights on investor visas. And be aware అండి, అటార్నీని పెట్టుకోండి. లైక్ స్కామ్స్ కి వాటికి వెళ్ళకుండా కరెక్ట్ గా ఒక అటార్నీని
Go with
పెట్టుకోండి.
a professional lawyer, go with an experienced lawyer, bank on knowledge, and don't just waste your money. About my credentials, I've been on Fox 5 in the past, I've been in the New York Times, I've been everywhere. I've been on ABC World News. So, in a sense, just make sure that check the credentials of the attorney before you make your investments and hire an attorney. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you Naresh Garu, and this is Priya Goteti signing off. Thank you. You're watching Sakshi Mana Sakshi.